1061 The Corner. I'm Jason, and I am so excited to welcome the Wood Brothers to the station. Chris, Oliver, and Jono are here. Guys, thanks so much for being here and for making some time to come in.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So the title of this record, Heart is the Hero, really kind of tells you what you're in for on this album. This album is so sincere, and not in like a good vibes only way, but kind of in like a this is what life is and let us tell you about it way. And I just wanted to ask about that sincerity and about approaching songwriting in that way, because I find it really beautiful and very moving, and I'd just love to hear how you approach songwriting from that position of real honesty.
Well,
How do we do it?
well, I will say that that's a nice way to sum it up
because you're right. It's there's some sweetness and there's some darkness on this record too.
Yeah, it's kind of like songwriting as life, like treat it sort of the same way, and a sort of a forever lesson in learning how to trust your heart and learning how to be compassionate towards yourself and towards others.
And sometimes when you follow your heart, you end up in some weird places, but probably still better for it, even if it's hard.
Yeah, and you know, there's a moment. For example, there's a song on the record that is written to a child, and you know, I'm a dad myself, and wondering those same questions about what we're leaving for the generation after us. And that song, it definitely talks about some of the darkness, for example, but then it comes out on the other side, I think, feeling like, but it's still all to play for. Like it's still all here. I don't know if that's a fair assessment of Mean Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's always. I mean, there's always some hope because, I mean, I think we talk a lot about in our own way and in our own language about presence and being present. And all of the hope comes from being in the present. All of our hopelessness comes from not being in the present, worrying about the past, worrying about the future. So everything that we can do to change the world happens now.
Well, we'll avoid the 30-minute conversation about Buddhism that I now want to get into, but I'll ask instead, after the kind of talking about the emotion of the record, you guys also made a really intentional choice in the recording of this record to do it analog and to tape, and without getting into the weeds of that, I think it really does make a difference. Can you just maybe give a quick 101 for listeners who might not even know what that means that I just said, and then talk about why you decided to do it that way? John?
Well, on this record, we went completely analog, and we didn't turn on a screen the whole time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's the first time we've done that, though we always record to tape, but then it quickly enters the digital domain, usually, because that's the way the world's been for a long time. But when you don't do it that way, you think and feel differently.
How so?
Well, it was amazing how much more energy we had, and we looked at each other a lot more because we didn't look at a screen. We listened only with our ears and not our eyes, and it activates different parts of your brain, is certainly what it feels like it's doing.
We're so used to seeing music on a screen these days, right? You're like waveforms. And so the simplest way I know to put it is like, can you dance to a waveform? I don't think so. So, you know, to get rid of that part and all you have is the vibrations that move your body and move your emotions, and instinctually you get a lot more done creatively instead of agonizing like, how could the computer change what we've done into something else?
Yeah, you have less options, too. So it's like, do you like it or not, or are you going to replay it?
And sometimes limitations lead to freedom, a new freedom in a way, right?
Creativity.
And innovation, yeah.
So kind of tying all this together, the song from the album that folks who listen to The Corner will be most familiar with is called Pilgrim, which really feels like it brings a lot of what we're talking about together. It is about being in the present moment. It's about slowing down. It's about seeing what is actually happening in life rather than letting it pass you by. Or at least that's what I take from it, but I'd be happy to hear if that's what you intended.
Pretty much right on, yep.
Any chance we could hear it in the room right now?
There's a pretty good chance.
It's the Wood Brothers on 1061 The Corner. This is Pilgrim.
Hey, something crazy happens. All right. 1, 2, 3, woo.
When I step off of that train, I'm gonna sit down and wait. 'Cause 'cause the soul can't travel that fast. The best part of me will surely be late. It's 'cause the soul can't travel that fast. Well, the soul's gotta walk like a pilgrim. He stops and he smells every flower on the path. So I'm gonna slow down, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast, travel that fast. When I get off of the road and I'm thinking I'm home, I try to remember, yeah. When I'm holding my baby and I'm leaving her cold, so 'cause the soul can't travel that fast. Now the soul takes his time like a pilgrim. He's trying to find him some peace that's gonna last. Come slow down, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast, travel that fast. Slow down, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast, travel that fast. Well, I'm running and I'm flying and losing my mind. I take my foot off of the gas and let the other fools pass. 'Cause the soul takes it slow like a pilgrim. He knows he's gonna get where he's going if he just stays on the path. I'm gonna slow down, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast, travel that fast. Now slow down, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast, travel that fast. Slow down, 'cause the soul can't.
1061 The Corner, Wood Brothers live in our studio. They are at the Ting Pavilion tonight with Shovels and Rope.